winning these games is what wins you league titles. Now, Barca's performance today was nowhere near the way it should have been, but it was one of those games where they went to an away ground of a team that is battling relegation, as we can see here. Leganes is 19th place, but they're only a few points off of escaping relegation. And their home fields have smaller pitches. Big teams cannot stretch them out the way they want them to, especially with Barcelona's play style. They have to adapt to the pitch and the size of the pitch that these smaller teams have. And especially when they're battling relegation, they have extra motivation. And of course, they have the home crowd backing them. Of course, they want to prove themselves against the big teams. And when you have teams like this, like Leganes, that are very chaotic, obviously they're not as controlled as bigger teams when you play against them. So they're very chaotic. And when you have that chaos in a smaller pitch against a team that is very controlled, it's going to be difficult to control the game. And as we saw today, it was just not the best from Barcelona. They managed to get the job done. Of course, it was an own goal from a good play from Barcelona, but it was nothing too dominant. It was 70.72 XG to 1.19 for Barcelona, and both teams had one big chance. Of course, Barca had more possession, but they couldn't really grab the game by the scruff of the neck and truly dominate it. And similarly to the Dortmund game in midweek, Leganes had far too many opportunities to actually score a goal, whether it be actual shots that they took or even getting to the area and being able to create a shot opportunity. And it was one of those games where the job had to be completed, and they did. And now Barcelona are 7 points clear of Real Madrid in the league table, who are second place. But of course, they have to play tomorrow, so it's up to them to cut the deficit now back to 4 points. And you talk about the difficulty of these away games where teams are like Leganes, smaller teams. They want to win at all costs. They're not there to entertain people. Look at this stat over here. The total time in the first half was 46 minutes and 35 seconds, and only 23 minutes and 20 seconds of actual time was actually played with football, with the ball being on the pitch and active in play. So only half of that time was actually used. The other half was just time wasting, arguing with the ref, taking time on throw-ins, taking time on fouls. And this is the issue with these smaller games, where teams simply will just want to win at any cost, and they're not there to entertain people and put on a show. So that's why winning these games is going to be the most important, because Leganes, especially this team, they've caused the most issues for the big teams this season out of any other small team. They've caused issues for Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure they've caused issues for Atletico Madrid as well. And of course, they beat Barcelona earlier this season, and they only lost 1-0 today to an own goal. So clearly, these are difficult games to win. There's no doubt about it. And these are the games, like I said before, that you need to win in order to win the league. But yeah, I mean, look, a good job to get the win for Barcelona. Is one of those games where they had to get the job done. And there's another Champions League knockout stage game coming up this week on Tuesday. But one more thing is going to be very important to talk about here, is that Balde is out injured. Now, he is not going to be out injured for 5 days with minor discomfort. He's going to be out injured for at least 3 weeks. Now, this is horrible news. This is disgraceful news to hear, because firstly, Balde should have never started this game. The team was already rotated. It was already a situation where there was players that were rotated, and Balde should not have started, especially considering, yes, Gerard Martin has done well, and since the turn of the year in 2025, Gerard Martin has been much better now than he was at the start of the season. But he is nowhere near the level of Balde, and Barca do not have another left back that can hold it down in big games. So now this is 3 weeks out minimum for Balde. What does that mean? Balde's missing the second leg of Dortmund. He's going to miss the next La Liga games. He's going to miss the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid, and then possibly one, if not two, of the games against either Inter Milan or Bayern in the semifinal, assuming Dortmund don't come back. So this is horrible news, and it's going to be interesting to see what Hansi Flick does, because Gerard Martin would be a much more favorable option for left back if he wasn't so slow. If he had any sort of pace on him, it would have been much better. But this news, coupled with Gerard Martin's lack of just physical ability and just pace, is going to be very bad to hear, and very difficult to cover because we're now in the stage of the season where every game must be won, even games like today against Leganes. And of course, we have UCL games that are big. The Copa del Rey final against Madrid is going to be big. So it's going to be interesting to see who Hansi Flick, you know, puts there. Does he trust Jari Martin? Will he try to play Araujo at left back? It's going to be interesting to see. But yes, overall, this is the bad news of the game. But Barca got the job done. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.